And now let me ask you some questions. Do you know which was the first country the Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif visited after coming to power? It was Saudi Arabia. Do you know which is the first country every Pakistani Prime Minister visits after being elected? Again, it's Saudi Arabia. This is a short summary of the close ties between these two countries. Ties that are rooted in history, faith, security, economics. You see, for the longest time, this relationship was immune to changes in leadership. It was immune to domestic and geopolitical compulsions. But that does not seem to be the case anymore. Have a look at this headline. The Middle East Eye carried it. It says Saudi Arabia is no longer willing to bail out Islamabad. It has refused to provide any more interest-free loans to the country. And the question is, why? The answer is Pakistan itself. Its failure to mend its ways, its financial negligence, its political ignorance, its diplomatic ineptitude. Whatever be the case, this development is striking. It has left Pakistan in shock because for the longest time, in fact throughout Pakistan's existence, Riyadh has always been there for the country. On multiple occasions, it has stepped up to bail Islamabad out of its financial mess. It has provided zero-interest loans without any questions asked. In fact, just a mere phone call by the Pakistani Prime Minister or a state visit by Pakistan's army chief were enough to secure the funding. But things are not the same anymore. Pakistan's inability to pay its loans, its inability to get the debt down, its inability to fix its economy has irked the kingdom. So what does it do? It shuts the money taps and scraps the avenue of a bailout. I have a statement with me. It's from Mohammed Al-Jadaan. He is the finance minister of Saudi Arabia. He says, and I'm quoting, "We used to give direct grants and deposits without strings attached, and we are changing that. We are working with multilateral institutions to actually say we need to see reforms. We are taxing our people. We are expecting also others to do the same, to do their efforts. We want to help, but we want you also to do your part." And this is embarrassing to say the least. Pakistan is in dire need of money. The IMF is not willing to help. China says it has done enough. And now you have Saudi Arabia, Pakistan's so-called Islamic brother, refusing to extend a helping hand anymore. You see, this sets a new precedent. Previously, state visits by Pakistani leaders or by the country's army chiefs have been a source of assurance. They usually end up with Riyadh giving Islamabad bags full of money, but not anymore. And with this decision, the Saudis seem to be telling Pakistan that they have had enough of the civilian authorities squandering away handouts. This is a major shift. You see, for decades, the kingdom's #1 partner in South Asia was Pakistan. They exchanged troops, they traded weapons. It was a broad military cooperation. And it continued as recently as 2017. You see, Pakistan's then army chief, Raheel Sharif, was appointed to lead an Islamic anti-terror coalition. This group had 39 nations and was headquartered in Saudi Arabia. And then in 2019, Crown Prince bin Salman offered his private jet to former Prime Minister Imran Khan. He said his guest cannot leave on a commercial flight. Imran Khan was headed to New York for the UN General Assembly. You may remember his hysterical performance there. Turns out even bin Salman was not impressed. And while returning from the UN, the Crown Prince ordered his plane back to New York. Imran Khan ended up flying commercial after all. And things went downhill from there. In 2020, Pakistan's then foreign minister threatened that they would quit the OIC if Saudi Arabia does not convene a meeting on Kashmir. And the kingdom responded by asking Islamabad to return $2 billion from a loan that it had granted. Pakistan had to borrow money from China to repay the Saudis. And that's not even all. Riyadh further recognized India's right to make decisions on Kashmir and joined New Delhi in condemning global terrorism. The new Saudi Arabia was looking for reliable and trustworthy partners that led them from Pakistan to India. In 2020, a new government came to power, but the ties remained tense, mostly because of Pakistan's financial woes. It kept asking for money, it kept making requests for loans. It assumed that the Saudis would comply. And guess what? Not anymore. That is Riyadh's message, a message that Pakistan may find a bit hard to comprehend. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.